10 straight dubs entering their matchup against the Hawks Tuesday night, and it was without Cade Cunningham in the lineup for the last 3, but he was back and in full effect early on in this one, this time finding Isaiah Stewart for the assist. Pistons up by 14. After 7 minutes left in the second here, Cunningham finding Chaz Lanier, who knocks down that 3. First half assist was 8 for Cunningham. Under 2 minutes left in the half. Duncan Robinson lobbing to Cade. He throws that down. Detroit up by 15 at that point on the ensuing Hawks possession. Onyeka Okongwu giving me a little favor here in this highlight because it was a lot of Pistons early, quite frankly.
Some Hawks, right?
That's right. But in the fourth quarter here, pick up the action. Jalen Johnson raining down the 3 to pull the Hawks within 3. Very next Hawks possession, Okongwu finding Dyson Daniels on the cut. He gets that floater to go. It's now down to a 1-point game. Under 5 minutes left, Denise Jenkins' shots gets blocked. Jalen Duren gets the board and puts it back and puts the Pistons back up by 8. Just over 2 minutes left. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the new acquisition, gets the bucket plus the foul. Free throw brings the Hawks within 4. Under 2 minutes left, Cunningham. Pull-up game proper. That puts it back up by 4 and 1 minute left. It's Cade one more time through all kinds of traffic and contact. 25 points, 10 assists for Cunningham. Coach Bickerstaff, though, what have you learned about this team in this streak?
The ability not to fold and fragment when things get rough. A determination when things get the muddiest and get the stickiest. They just know how to play through those moments and power through those moments. They relish in the ability to dig down deep and go places that other people just don't want to go. And I think that's why we've had, the run that we've had is because of their willingness to do just whatever it takes to get the win and be as nasty as we need to be.
Nasty, he says. Well, let's take a look at the numbers and see if that gets verified. Detroit won 11 straight, their longest win streak since they won 11 in a row back in the 2007 and 8 season. So let's put that into perspective. The Pistons' 2 leading scorers are Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. Back in 08, Cade was 7 years old. Wow. While Duren, who turned 22 Wednesday, was 4. So if you didn't feel old enough going into this, there's a little more evidence. Pistons sit atop the East at 13-2, tied for their best 15-game start in franchise history. The other 2 times, they reached the Eastern Conference Finals.
Perk, look, this is largely the same personnel as last year when you look at these Pistons. We know all about Cade Cunningham's greatness, but other than him, who's had the biggest impact on Detroit's rise to the top of the East during this 11-game win streak?
Hey, you remember what Uncle Elroy said to Sugar? I always miss the nasty time. It's Mr. Nasty. They call themselves the Nasty Boys for a reason. And yes, it starts with a guy that's in the MVP conversation and Cade Cunningham, but it's them bullies down low. Isaiah Stewart and the guy that's knocking at the door of being an all-star this year in Jalen Duren. What he's been doing this season, averaging 20 points, almost 12 rebounds, shooting about 68% from the field. Yes, he has that combination of that 90s game because of his physicality, his ability to stay around the basket and rebound and dominate, but he also has a bag that shows he's able to step out on the perimeter. We saw the game from the other night, no Cade Cunningham, and he goes out and have 30-plus points. We see him putting the ball on the floor. It's one team in the Eastern Conference that I fully trust, and it's the Detroit Pistons because they have an identity, and that identity is the physicality, and they're willing to get nasty.
They got an identity, they got an 11-game win streak, and they got a center in Duren who he's looking like he's an all-star, maybe even more than that. All right, Perk, thanks.
All right. To another physical team out of the East, the Orlando Magic playing host to Stephen Curry, who was looking for a bounce back after just 9 points against the Pelicans the other night. Under a minute to go, Jimmy Butler passes the ball to Buddy Hield, doesn't put his hands up, stolen by Desmond Bane. He goes all the way to the other end for an easy bucket. Butler afterwards telling Hield, I ain't never passing you the ball again. Early second now, Draymond, the alley-oop to Jimmy Butler. Some fresh legs from Jimmy Butler. Warriors trail by 7 at the break, though. Early third quarter action, Warriors in transition. Curry, friendly roll on this here 3. Shooters touch, shooters bounce. Curry with 34 on the evening. Warriors down 5. Under a minute later, Curry passes it to Green, stolen by Franz Wagner, who dunks it home. Another turnover leading to points for the Magic. Few possessions later, Curry airballs this three. Anthony Black, however, secures the rebound, passes it up to head to Wagner. Wagner lobs it up to Goga Bitadze for the jam. Magic up 8 at the end of the third. 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Now Magic up 7. Bane in transition. Black this time floats up there and flushes it home. And a minute to go. Brandon Pajemski drives, shot gets blocked by Jalen Suggs. Just a ridiculous athlete, by the way. And then Suggs finds an open Bane in the corner for 3. That's what he was brought there to do, and the Magic do what needs to be done in order to get a win.
LeBron making his season debut after missing the Lakers' first 14 games while suffering from sciatica, hosting the Jazz. Season number 23 for number 23, believe it or not. Early action, LeBron, little dish to DeAndre Ayton. He said before the game that he had baby lungs because he hadn't been running. The cardio wasn't there. Trying to get grown man lungs, that's going to take some time. So not too many minutes expected in his debut. Another assist there for the 3 in the corner. And then LeBron's like, well, let me get on the scoring action here. Knocks down a 3. His only point so far in this game, 1 of 2. They both come from 3-point range. The Jazz leader right now, 51-43. He did have 4 assists so far in early action. As promised, Big Perk back here with us. So look, Perk, LA went 10-4 before LeBron came back this season. So what version of the King does this current LA team need right now?
They need an engaged version of the LeBron James. They need a happy LeBron James. A happy LeBron James is going to be the best version of LeBron James. And when we heard him talk before, after shoot-around, he was ecstatic about coming back because he see what he has to play with. And I believe that LeBron James legitimately believed that the Lakers has an opportunity to go out and really compete for a championship this year with this roster. And when you talk about arguably the most complete player this game has ever seen, it's not hard to plug him in, right? It's so much conversation of whether or not he's going to take away from Austin Reeves. No, he's a plug-and-play guy. And what Braun is going to bring to the table is 1, IQ. 2, he can play any position on the floor that you need him to play. And on top of that, when you need certain situational things when it matters the most in the fourth quarter, you got one of the greatest to ever do it that's on the floor, even if he's a senior citizen.
He said yesterday after practice, there's not a team in the world in which he can't fit. And that includes the Lakers, whether they're playing well with Luka Doncic or not. That's who LeBron is. Again, year 23 for LeBron James, and he's still one of the best players in the league. Incredible career, and it's not even over yet. Big Perk, as always, we appreciate it. Much more from him coming up on the next edition of SportsCenter. Top of the hour, going to get his take on this streaking Pistons team out of Detroit. All right, so there you see John Shire and a couple of his Duke Blue Devils sitting down. We'll get some reaction from them after their win over Kansas there at Madison Square Garden as they closed out the Champions Classic. Also ahead.